Hi, this is Sarah from Align with Sarah. If you have watched any videos or have interacted with me at all, I am very upfront and vocal about my chronic pain that I suffer with the migraines. If anyone is a migraine sufferer out there, or even just severe headaches, or even the stress headaches, the cluster headaches, all of that, um, you probably are like me and most people, you can feel them coming on, and I can feel a migraine coming on. And I have been this morning doing a bunch of things that I do to mitigate that when I get that like tingly feeling. And I thought it might be helpful to share these things in a video. So I tend to feel them coming on either like I'll wake up in the middle of the night, or I'll wake up early in the morning and I'll feel this like tingling sensation. And one of the first things that I do to try to support that, because I'm usually in bed, is I'll go get a hand towel, and I'm going to show you how I fold this. I have it like about 2/3 here. Well, it's long ways to start, and then about 2/3, and then I drop the top down like this, and then I roll it from that thickest point down. I do this a lot in my massage practice, or giving people resources for stretching, making a homemade bolster, because this is surprisingly firm for what it is. But this small hand towel, I'll take this, and this is over here on my left side, which is good because when it's on the right side, that tends to be a full-on headache. If it's on my left side, it tends to be just my left side, and it tends to be not so intense. So this is my left side. So I have my towel here, and adding this little extra bolster. I have really quality pillows, but um, when I have that migraine coming on, it really helps align my neck and take some pressure off of these muscles here in the neck that tend to get tight, and support the shoulder to keep from that little bit of a collapse. Because when I do lay down, I'm going to lay down on that side to kind of straighten and align my spine. And I do imagine that. I get right into every morning, I do meditation. And when I feel this coming on, I do specific meditations for relieving chronic pain. I use the mindful movement. Uh, there's one that I very much like, and it's about just kind of like a body scan, shifting energy, just acknowledging that this is an expression of something, a conversation from the body. Headaches tend to reflect congestion, um, and that's also in my mind of doing that body scan, finding congestion. So this is those are the two things that I start with this, this bolster under my neck, and my phone to get a meditation going, and I'll listen to that maybe even 2 or 3 times. So that's at least 20 minutes. I think they're around 15 or 20 minutes. So that can be anywhere of close to an hour of doing the meditation. It depends on what time it is that I woke up. Other things that I do to, again, mitigate and calm that pain, I will put ear seeds on my ear to help uh, clear congestion. I tend to have congestion in that left ear, so I do tend to have ear seeds on. I didn't have any on for a while, so I have them on to help drain that ear. Um, and that's a whole other video in itself. But doing a little bit of like that acupressure to relieve the ear. And my left ear tends to be congested, which I don't know that necessarily contributes to everybody's migraine, but again, I'm just sharing what it is that I do. Another thing that's very simple, I get my castor oil out. I feel like castor oil is my answer to everything. You'll see I have quite a bit of shine on my eyes. I do castor oil in my eyes regularly. It moisturizes them. It helps with that blepharitis, the inflammation at the site, like the itchiness and the inflammation at the site of the eyelashes, the hair follicle, for whatever reason gets irritated. Um, and the wherever we put castor oil on our body, except for when we internalize it, not meant for that, um, it's going to support our liver. Clearing liver congestion is a key in getting on that other side of that hurdle with a migraine, I believe anyway. So I also use castor oil on my feet. So I put castor oil on my feet, and then I just a tiny bit, goes a long way. I put that on my feet. I put some socks on because it's a very messy oil. While I have it on my hands, it's a very messy oil and it's a very thick oil, which a lot of people don't tend to use it. I love it. I feel like it slows everything down, um, as far as movement wise on the outside to help, and I feel like that stimulates better movement on the inside. But while I have that on my hands, I give a good exercise to the uh, or I guess a stimulation to that lower area of the fingers. That's the reflexology point for the eyes. And I do feel it in my eyes, I feel like this like sinusy behind the eyes area. So I will do that. I'll give that a good wiggle for, 30 seconds, give a break. I do the squeeze thing like this. I'll rub my hands, and then shake my hands out, and then do another cycle of that where I'm really wiggling. There's a squeezing of my fingers going on in here, and then obviously that wiggle motion. And then the last thing I'll do before I'll wash my hands is I will take, and this is very effective for me. Tracing using one finger. I'm right-handed, so I'm just using my right hand to trace the nail bed of my thumb. So I'm using one thumb to work on the other thumb. This The tips of the fingers are going to associate with kind of head brain stuff. The thumb specifically has some reflexology points for some glands in the brain. Um, the nail bed is just an easy landmark to kind of to offer for a guidance, going over there. And I actually hardly ever use my left to go over my right, I think because I want it to be as passive as possible. And I got to think about it a lot more if I'm using my left to trace that nail bed of the right. And then uh, tapping. I am going to do some tapping on myself for acknowledging this pain, inviting that conversation and letting it go. And I'm going to do that in a separate video here in just a moment. So I hope these tips are helpful. I hope that something might sound new, might sound like a resource to you. And I hope that it can help mitigate any major pain. And if these are things that you can incorporate in your weekly or daily cycles of health of self-care, um, they have hopefully they will help reduce the likelihood of a headache. uh, they sure have for me, which is why I go to them for resources and why I'm sharing them with you right now. So I hope this helps, and I'm going to do this tapping video here in just a minute. All right, thanks so much.